Paramount Studios, Stage 12, October 15th, 1955, 11:47 p.m. Kirk Douglas stands in the shadows, watching studio head Victor Morrison corner 19-year-old actress Sarah Chen against a makeup trailer. Morrison's hand slams the metal wall beside her head. His voice is low, threatening. "Screen test tomorrow depends on tonight, sweetheart." Sarah's back is pressed against cold metal. Her breathing is shallow, rapid. She nods once, barely visible, the nod of someone who's learned that fighting makes it worse. Kirk's jaw clenches. His hands ball into fists. What he does in the next 8 seconds doesn't just cost him $7 million. It shatters Hollywood's most protected secret and changes the industry forever. But first, you need to understand what Kirk Douglas is about to destroy. Hollywood, 1955. The studio system isn't just about making movies. It's about absolute power. 5 men control every career, every dream, every future in this town. Victor Morrison runs Paramount with an iron fist and a system of fear that everyone knows but no one speaks about. Morrison has ruled Paramount for 12 years, built his empire on talent, yes, but also on a simple transaction. Young actresses provide private services, or they find themselves blacklisted before their careers begin. It's Hollywood's darkest open secret, whispered at parties, discussed in hushed tones, understood by everyone, challenged by no one. Because challenging Victor Morrison means professional suicide. Kirk Douglas knows this. Every actor in town knows this. The difference is, Kirk Douglas has something most actors don't have: the luxury of choice. He's already successful, already established, already rich enough to walk away. Most actors need Hollywood more than Hollywood needs them. Kirk Douglas is about to prove that's not always true. 6 hours earlier. 5:30 p.m. Morrison's corner office. Morrison sits behind a mahogany desk the size of a small car. The walls are covered with movie posters. All hits, all moneymakers, all proof of his power. Kirk sits across from him in a deliberately smaller chair. Morrison learned power positioning from Chicago mob bosses. Make everyone else feel small. Morrison slides a contract across the polished wood. 3 films, $7 million. More money than Kirk has ever seen. Spartacus, The Vikings, Lust for Life. Morrison's voice is smooth, practiced. 3 pictures that make you a legend, Kirk. Kirk scans the numbers. His hands are steady, but his mind is calculating. $7 million buys a lot of silence. But legends understand something actors don't, Morrison continues. What's that? Morrison leans back, studies Kirk like he's evaluating livestock. Discretion. The word hangs between them like a threat. About business arrangements that keep everyone happy. Keep the talent working. Keep the money flowing. Morrison gestures toward his window overlooking the studio lot. This empire wasn't built on talent alone, Kirk. It was built on understanding. Kirk's pen hovers over the signature line. Understanding what? Morrison's smile is cold, predatory. That some arrangements are necessary. Part of the ecosystem. You protect the ecosystem. The ecosystem protects you. Kirk signs the contract. Black ink on white paper. 7 million reasons to stay quiet about whatever Morrison means. But as Kirk stands to leave, Morrison says something that makes his blood freeze. Oh, and Kirk, if you're wondering about that young actress, Sarah Chen, she'll be learning about career development tonight. Stage 12, around midnight. Morrison's smile widens. Feel free to observe. Learn how business really works in this town. 11:47 p.m. Behind the makeup trailer. Kirk crouches in the shadows, watching through a gap in the trailer door. Morrison has Sarah trapped against the metal wall. His shirt is half unbuttoned. Her hands are shaking. This is how stars are born, sweetheart. Not in screen tests, in private arrangements. Sarah's voice is barely a whisper. Please, Mr. Morrison, I just want to act. And you will. After you learn what acting really costs. Kirk's hand moves toward the trailer door handle. His mind races through calculations. Open that door and his contract disappears. His career ends. Every studio in town will blacklist him. $7 million evaporating in an instant. But Sarah Chen is 19 years old. Could be his sister, could be his daughter. Kirk's grip tightens on the cold metal handle. This is the moment. The choice that will define who Kirk Douglas really is beneath the movie star persona. Money or morality, career or conscience, silence or truth. What happens next takes 8 seconds. 8 seconds that destroy one empire and save one life. Kirk yanks the door open. The metal slams against the trailer side like a gunshot. The sound echoes across the empty studio lot. Morrison spins around, his face transitioning from predator to prey in an instant. His shirt hangs open, his hair is disheveled. No way to pretend this is a business meeting. Douglas, what the hell are you doing here? Kirk steps inside the cramped trailer, fills the doorway, blocks the only exit. Getting some air. His voice is deadly quiet. The voice he uses in westerns right before someone dies. Morrison tries to smile, tries to regain control. Sarah and I were just discussing her screen test tomorrow. No. Kirk's voice cuts through the lie like a blade. You were assaulting her. The air in the trailer becomes electric, dangerous. Sarah presses herself against the wall, but now she's watching Kirk instead of cowering from Morrison. Morrison's face hardens. The mask drops completely. The real predator emerges. Be very careful, Douglas. Very careful. You just signed a $7 million contract. That contract has morality clauses, behavior clauses, clauses that can make it disappear if you interfere with studio business. Kirk takes another step forward. Morrison has nowhere to go. Is that a threat? It's reality. Studio reality. You think you're special because you can act? You're not. You're replaceable. This girl is replaceable. But this system? Morrison gestures around the trailer, around the studio lot beyond. This system is permanent. Kirk looks at Sarah, 19 years old, terrified, trapped in a system designed to consume people like her. Then Kirk does something that surprises everyone, including himself. He laughs. Not loud, just a quiet, dangerous chuckle that makes Morrison's confidence evaporate. You know what, Victor? You're absolutely right. Morrison blinks, confused. I am replaceable. This girl is replaceable. But you? Kirk's voice drops to a whisper that somehow sounds louder than shouting. You just made your biggest mistake. You assumed I need this more than I need to sleep at night. Morrison's face goes pale. For the first time in 12 years, Victor Morrison looks uncertain. What are you saying? Kirk reaches into his jacket, pulls out the contract he signed 6 hours earlier. $7 million in black ink. He holds it up, tears it in half. The sound of ripping paper fills the trailer like thunder. I'm saying your ecosystem just went extinct. The next morning, 8:15 a.m., Los Angeles Times, newsroom. Kirk Douglas walks through the newsroom carrying a manila envelope. Reporters look up from their typewriters. That face is unmistakable. Those eyes, that jaw that made him famous. But this morning, those eyes look different, dangerous, determined. Jack Mitchell, investigative reporter, glances up from his coffee. Kirk Douglas, in our newsroom? Kirk drops the envelope on Mitchell's desk. Inside are photographs, documents, a tape recorder with conversations, and written testimony from Sarah Chen detailing Victor Morrison's system of coercion. Mitchell's face goes white as he scans the contents. Jesus Christ, Kirk. Do you understand what this means? I understand exactly what it means. Morrison will destroy you. Every studio in town will blacklist you. That Spartacus deal? Gone. Your entire career. What career? Kirk interrupts. The career built on staying quiet while women get assaulted? The career that requires me to pretend predators are businessmen? Kirk leans over Mitchell's desk, his voice intense but controlled. I don't want that career. I want to build something better. Mitchell stares at him like he's watching a man commit suicide. You're walking away from $7 million. No, I'm walking towards something worth more than money. What's worth more than $7 million? Kirk looks out the newsroom window toward Hollywood, toward the studio system that made him, the system he's about to burn down. Being able to look at myself in the mirror tomorrow morning without flinching. The story breaks Friday morning, October 22nd, 1955. Front page, above the fold. Paramount studio head accused of systematic sexual coercion. Kirk's phone rings at 6:12 a.m. His agent panicked. Kirk, what have you done? Every studio in town is canceling your projects. Universal returned your calls. Warner Brothers won't see you. You're blacklisted. 6:43 a.m. Morrison himself, his voice shaking with rage. You destroyed yourself, Douglas. You'll never work in this town again. I'll make sure of that. 7:15 a.m. Sarah Chen, crying, Mr. Douglas, I thought I was alone. I thought no one would ever believe me. By noon, Kirk Douglas doesn't have a career in Hollywood. By evening, he has something better. He has his integrity intact. The aftermath is swift and brutal. Kirk Douglas is blacklisted from every major studio. Projects worth tens of millions disappear overnight. Friends stop returning calls. Party invitations vanish. Hollywood's message is clear. This is what happens to people who break the code of silence. But Kirk doesn't break. Instead, he builds. He starts his own production company, Briner Productions, named after his mother, makes films outside the studio system, takes creative risks the studios would never allow. Paths of Glory, 7 Days in May, Spartacus, which he eventually produces independently. Films that matter, films that say something, films that change how movies can be made. Victor Morrison is fired from Paramount within 6 months. Criminal charges follow. He serves 18 months in prison and dies forgotten. His empire of abuse finally collapsed. Sarah Chen testifies at his trial. Her courage inspires other women to speak. The dam breaks. The system changes. She goes on to become a successful actress on her own terms, then a director. She names her production company Douglas Pictures. 20 years later, Cannes Film Festival, 1975. A young actress approaches Kirk at a reception. She's maybe 25. Confident, unafraid. Mr. Douglas, I wanted to thank you. For what? For making it possible for women like me to work in this business without fear. My mother told me about what you did in 1955, what you sacrificed to stop Victor Morrison. Kirk looks at her, sees the confidence in her eyes, the absence of the fear that used to haunt every young actress who walked onto a studio lot. I didn't sacrifice anything, he says quietly. I traded one kind of success for a better kind. Traded complicity for courage. Traded dirty money for clean sleep. Was it worth it? Kirk thinks about Sarah Chen directing her 5th film, about Victor Morrison dying powerless and alone, about the hundreds of women who can now pursue their dreams without paying Morrison's price. Ask me that question when your daughter is old enough to work in this business, he says, when she can walk into any office, any meeting, any room in Hollywood without wondering what it's going to cost her. Then ask me if it was worth it. The real cost of courage isn't what you lose. It's what you refuse to become. Kirk Douglas lost $7 million that October night in 1955, lost the protection of the studio system, lost the easy path to guaranteed success. He gained something priceless, the knowledge that when everything was on the line, when staying quiet was profitable and safe, when tearing up that contract would cost him everything, he chose 8 seconds of courage over a lifetime of cowardice, chose right over easy, truth over comfort, conscience over cash. Some systems deserve to be destroyed. Some secrets are too toxic to keep, and sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away from everything that made you so you can become who you're supposed to be. That's what Kirk Douglas understood that night, behind stage 12. That real strength isn't in your fists or your fame. It's in your willingness to lose everything for something that matters more than anything. That's what courage actually costs. And that's why, 70 years later, we're still learning from the man who chose 8 seconds of action over a lifetime of silence. The system tried to buy him. Instead, he broke the system and built something better from the pieces.